Hi all, welcome back. Today I'm in the Outback. But in all seriousness, today's video is going to be two things. Yeah, of course I will talk about the ATI Nova and the stocks I've made. That's old news, but I'm going to show you the three guns that I have. But more importantly, this is why I'm making this video today, is I want to see how slugs shoot out of these under $300 air guns at 100+ yards. And what I did was, because I'm so interested in this, and I've been watching, and I'm sure many of you have also, Matt Dubber and his series of videos on slugs. He's done a lot of scientific work on that, and that got me interested. So what I'm doing is nothing groundbreaking, except the fact that what I did was I went out and purchased a swaging press, which was not cheap. I guess for the cost of the swaging press, I could have bought 2 FX air guns, which I debated, but that's not the point. The point is I wanted to make bullets, and I wanted to make my own, and I wanted to be able to make different types, from skirted pellets to hollow base to there's dish, there's flat, and I wanted to try them out. And I have a theory that in these air guns, which have a twist rate, I think somewhere around 1 in 12, 1 in 14, versus, let's say, a firearm that has a twist rate, I think 1 in 6 to 1 in 8, what that does, that twist rate affects what type of weight bullet you can use. So I want to make lighter weight pellet slugs that are currently available, and I'm talking anywhere from 18 grain slugs up to like 24. And I have with me today a box. This is a box of slugs that I've made. These are my own. I'm sure these look familiar to you. Everyone packages them in, you know, these Ziploc bags, but these are the ones I made. So these are 22. Most of these are I made 22 and 25 caliber. But today I'm going to be talking only about the 22 caliber. And I've made 18, 20, 21, 22, 23 and a half, and 24.75. And I made these various slugs. I made about 200 of each because I'm going to be testing them out. I want to see if or how they work in these Nova Liberty air guns and maybe other air guns. But for today, we'll test it in the Liberty. Now, making slugs is a very time-consuming and precise process. You know, how much force you put on the lever. Again, I'm making them by hand. I don't have a hydraulic press or anything like that, so I'm not going to be cranking them out at high volume. But you know, making them is definitely a skill, and it took me a little while to figure it out. You know, how much force to put, how long to hold it at the bottom when you're at the complete revolution of pulling the arm down in swaging process, how much lube to use. In the beginning I was using too much lube. It was kind of making them very dirty. But anyway, the point is I'm going to be testing these out today, and these air guns, and specifically, you have seen, I've done a video on Lady Liberty here. This is the first one I did. Here is the second one that I made. This is a Bantam style. It has this little, it's still a thumb hole. It is a little heavier, it's a little bigger, but it is nice. It is very nice, has a great feel. Again, the cheek riser is adjustable. Now, here is the third one I made. This is the, I call it the H&M 1000X, and it was inspired by that gun. And of course I did some venting here. It is also adjustable on the riser. This one, you could put your thumb right here. Very, very, very comfortable. Beautiful to shoot. Yeah, I really like this one. So this is the one I'll probably be using today. Again, I'm hoping the barrels aren't different, but maybe I'll try all three. But I'm going to try this one because I'm most comfortable with it. So with that being said, what I want to do is just show you the different slugs and then test them out. Let's get right to that. Slugs I have made are .217, so they're a little bit thinner, so they fit in the barrel, you know, a little looser in the barrel. These Nova Liberties are a little tighter in the barrel. Some people have been complaining about, you know, wondering, are they choked, are they not choked? I have found that my guns, they don't seem to be choked. So anyway, I'm going with the 217 because they are tight, and hollow based, so dish based, hollow based and dish based, which is basically a skirted slug. Now, my theory is using a skirted slug should be able to catch the air being pushed from behind, expand the skirt so that it grabs the lands, the rifling, and spins better. So that is why I have chosen to make and test today the skirted slugs. I do have the heavier dish-based slug, or cup-based, because, as you know, if you skirt them, the pellets, the heavier the weight, the longer the pellets get, and I want them to be able to fit into the magazines. So why all the trouble and expense to make air gun slugs and not just be happy with using your pellets from JSB or H&N or any other, you know, manufacturer? Well, again, I shoot mostly in windy canal. Today seems to be a beautiful day, but every time I'm out here at the range or wherever I'm shooting, and at least on the East Coast, it seems to always be between 11 and 16 mile an hour winds. And if I'm trying to shoot longer range, you know, 50 minimum, 110, I want to go further, but I'm limited here to about 110 yards. You really need to buck the wind, and as you know, has been shown by many people. Again, I always reference Matt Dubber because I watch a lot of his stuff. But by the way, I'm sorry, go off on a little tangent. There's a lot of good people on YouTube. If you're wondering, I get a lot of questions about, so where did you learn all of this? Well, I read a lot, and you can benefit by reading also from GTA, Gateway to Air Guns, great forum. A lot of information, a lot of great people there. There are other forums like Airgun Nation. I check them out as well. So the reason I want to shoot slugs, again, is to buck the high winds, shoot longer distances, more accuracy. After all, if you can't hit what you're aiming for, what's the point of shooting? And I have found that I get very frustrated when I'm trying to shoot out to 100 yards, and well, it could be the barrel, it could be me. So to take me out of the equation, of course I shoot off the bench with as stable a bag as possible. But slugs is another thing. If you can make really uniform slugs with very similar geometric shape and weight, that takes slugs out of, you know, is the bullet the problem? Because you see, you shoot these pellets and you see weight difference of half a grain to even as much as a full grain. So that affects, at long distances, that affects your accuracy. The wind, of course, skirted pellets, you know, they're meant to stabilize in the air. That's slow. I obviously try to shoot them more than 950, even somewhere in the 900s, they sometimes destabilize. But slugs are meant to be shot a little faster, and that's what I'm here to do today, is to test out the theory that these slugs will shoot well in, again, a less than $300 air gun at out to 100 yards, buck the wind better, give me better accuracy, and let me hit my target further out. So that's the whole point of this. Here are the various slugs that I'll be shooting today. These are the ones I made. There's about 200 of each, like I said. Here's an 18, 20, 21, 22, 23.75 and 24.75. Now these two here have a different base. These are dish based. So there's a small sort of, let's see. So there's a small indent on the back of this slug, and while these guys, 1, 2, 3, and 4, are hollow base. So if you look, they're almost skirted, okay? These are all hollow points, but they're also hollow base. Before I begin testing the slugs, what I'm gonna do is I wanna have a baseline, and I know that these guns, at least my guns and these barrels, like the H&N 21 grain. So I have a target out at 50 right now, and I just want to see what 5 shots does on 2 targets, and then I'll use that as a baseline and then go with the slugs. Now I'll be hand feeding all my bullets today to take out the effect maybe the magazine is having. I am not shooting with a shroud. It is stock, you know, the stock shroud. And I do have a power adjuster, and I have it set, I have a Crony in front here, and I have it set to about 900 feet per second, maybe a little, maybe 920, somewhere in that range. So let's see how these shoot. Wow. 3 in the same hole. 4 in the same hole. 5 in the same hole. Holy shit. All right. Wow. This stock is very, very comfortable, and I think that's helping. I now have the cranny set up, and you'll see that over here. Let's try another 5 shots. Wow. All right, that group was okay. I think that was an inch. All right, so I'm gonna go down and take a look at that at 50 yards, 5 shots. This is my thumb. Okay, that paper, this is the hole. My finger fits in that hole. This is a 1/2 inch or less. This one is a little messy. So with this right here, we know that at 50 yards, using Barracudas, this gun is capable of 1/2 inch, even less. Wow, yeah. Dude, that's my index finger. You know, it fits in there. Okay, it's less, I'm gonna say that's less than a 1/2 inch. This one, not so good. This is an inch. Yeah, this one, remember, it's a 6-inch disc, 3 inches from here. So if you put that, it's about 1.25 inches. So, but this is the real telltale. All right, now we're gonna try some slugs. So you just saw the 1/2 inch, maybe even better than 1/2 inch, at 50 yards using the H&N Barracuda. Oh, wait a minute. Ha! I saw two little yellow, I don't know what you call them, but they just landed near my target, and I have a camera set up on that other target. Wow, let me turn it on. Hold on, I'll put it right here. Okay, so you see that? See those two? My dentist asked me if I had seen any of those to make sure I get rid of them, and there's 2. So I'll be right back. Just nicked one. They don't scare easy. Nicked them again. All right, sorry about that interruption, but again, my dentist asked me to make sure I get rid of those because they're messing up my teeth. And as usual, I eat what I kill. But in all seriousness, let's get to shooting the slugs now. All right, so I'm going to start off with 21 grain. Wow, it wasn't tight at all. I don't know if that's a good thing, but we're going to find out. Okay. Okay, kind of like those. Not as good as the H&N, but let's see. I made a little adjustment on the scope. All right, 899 feet, 900 feet per second or higher. You know what? To see if velocity matters, I'm gonna I can adjust the hammer spring tension. I'm gonna give it a 1/2 turn, and we'll see what that does. Should increase the velocity. Let's see how that impacts accuracy at 50 yards. Okay, so these 4 are 1/2 inch with this little flyer here. All right, here we go, second group. A lot of wind in my face. Three in the same hole. Okay. 4 1/2-inch, 1 flyer, 3 in the same hole with 2 flyers. I'm not sure. I've heard that it takes a little bit more distance for slugs to stabilize. So we're going to take it out to, let's try 75 yards, and let's see if that makes a difference. Okay, so as you can see from that second target, it seems like this gun likes the 24.75 grain. It is not skirted, it is not hollow base, it's dish based. And that group looks more like an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter. Let me go take a look at that. Look at these. I think this is, looks like 4. Maybe I only took 4 shots. I thought I took 5, unless one went in the same hole perfectly. We'll have to look at the tape. This is 3/4 of an inch. This is about an inch and an eighth, inch and a quarter. Okay, that's 80. We're at 80 yards. This was just sighting in. When this was the 21 grain, and then this here was the, what you just saw, was the 24.75. So this looks really promising. And we'll go out to 100. Let's see what it looks like at 100. Okay, this is the 100 mark. Good. Hit anything. All right, here we go. Okay, so here we go. 100 yards with the 23.75 on a fresh fill. Okay, so those were the 23.75, sorry. Now I'm trying the 24.75. I like that a lot better. Nice. Okay. All right. So it appears that the skirted slugs are not really stabilizing in the air, at least with this gun. And thank God I made the dish ones. The dish, or cup, excuse me, the cup base, which is not quite solid, are doing really, really well. So before I try, I have 6 more targets. I'm going to try the H&Ns to see how they perform at 100 yards. Okay. Wow, they're all over the plate. Well, 3 pellets were touching, 2 flyers. I'm going to try and lower the speed a little bit. Okay, let's see if we lower it, slow it down. Let's see if that does something better for the H&Ns. $8.89. Again, 4 pellets close, 1 flyer. 24.75. cup based. Wow. Wow. If that isn't pretty much definitive proof that this gun likes cup based but not hollow base skirted. I'm going to try another group on the bottom. Wow. Wow. That is 3 shots. Before I take my next one, that is 3 shots at 3/4 of an inch or less. 100 yards. Four shots under an inch. Four shots under an inch, and the 5th one I pulled it. Yes, you're still recording, good. This is 3/4 of an inch with this one flyer. This is not bad. 2 more 5-shot groups. 24.75 cup base slug hollow point. 100 yards. Nice. Taking a break, the wind. Under an inch at 100 yards, and the wind is blowing at like 14 miles an hour. Unbelievable. Nice. So now that we're back from the range, what I wanted to do was just kind of show you guys the swaging press, the process, compare the pellets that I swage. I'll do 5 of them here and compare them to some 18 grain unopened, and we'll weigh them. I have a little scale here, and probably put it over here somewhere. But before I do that, I just wanted to recap on what we just did at the range. Again, amazing. At 50 yards, the H&N, 0.3 inches. Wow. At 50 yards, nothing to really write home about. The skirted or hollow base slugs, they performed nothing really great. I mean, not bad, but nothing really great. So anyway, just wanted to kind of show you that at 50. But at 80 yards, this was sighting in, and this was 80 yards, 5 shots, 2 in the same hole. This is 1.1 inches. And then up here at 100 yards, because remember I took this board and I walked it down to 100 yards, we have 5 shots at 1.375 inches. And again, this was using the 24.75 cup based, or yeah, it was a cup based, which is not as shallow on the inside. Again, the Nova Liberty seemed to really like those slugs. Again, nothing else to really talk about on the 80 or 100, but on the last board, again, I think it was this way, this group was really unbelievable. 4 really, really nice and close, and then with 1 flyer. Again, the same thing here. This is a 24 point, same bullet. I didn't change. I didn't go trying all the different ones. I'll probably do that in the future. But anyway, this is another nice group at about 1 1/4. Nothing to write home here, and really, that's it. But these were the H&Ns, and again, I was trying to get a baseline. How does the H&N pellets, the 21 grain, compare to the slugs? And hands down, the slugs were much better at further distances, but it seemed like the pellets were better at 50 yards and closer. So maybe a little more than 50, but it seemed like around 50 yards, use the H&Ns. I'm going to use the H&N 21. Further out, I'm going to use the slugs, and that's why I'm doing this. Also, just so you know, I'll be testing further, and if I find anything new or something amazing, then I'll post another video. So let me show you the swaging press, and what I have here is 18 grains. I'm going to open them up right here in front of you, okay? And what I want to do is weigh them. I have a scale. I'll try not to shake the table or anything. And I'm just going to randomly pull out 5 of them, and let's see. And this is a very solid table, by the way. So even if I lean on it, there's really very little vibration. So 18.32, and you're seeing that. I'll put that over here. Let me take that off. 18.34. Wow, that was consistent, making me a liar. 17.98. 18.22. And one more. 18.20. All right, let me find. Come on, show me another one. 18. So anyway, there's some variance there, which, it does affect. Again, especially that under 18 grain pellet. You pick that one up out of the 5 you picked up, and you wonder why you get a flyer. Well, that's why you get a flyer. So let me show you the press here. This is the press. It's currently set up. It has a little piece here that rises up as you crank the handle down, and it squashes the lead. So what I want to do is let me change it out. Right now I have the cup based, and basically I've already took the liberty of unscrewing it. So that is the cup base. Let me see, hopefully you see that, okay? And what I'm going to do is change it out, and I keep these in oil. You want to keep them, you don't want them to rust on you. You want to keep them clean and keep them in oil. I'm just going to put this is the cup base. Oh, here, let me show you what it looks like. So this is the cup base. Okay, so you got a sense of what that looks like. It's kind of flat. I don't know why they call it cup. I think more of a dish. But anyway. Okay, sorry, I forgot which way it goes. Let's screw that in. Okay, we use a 5/8 wrench just to torque it down a bit. I'm gonna hold the top here. Give it just a little torque. Okay, so this is set for the 2.217 slugs. Yeah, you can see that. So what I'm gonna do is let me just put on a pair of gloves here, or one glove at least. So what I have here is some 22, I think it's 0.218 wire, lead wire, and some swaging lube. Okay, I'm just gonna take a small dab, really, really small amount. Like, I'm talking like a drop, put it between my 2 fingers. Now, you can cut them, the cores, and then, lube them in your hand and put them in place. But I find sometimes it's too much lube, or it's like a longer process. So what I do is take about 10 inches of it or so. I lube that part up with a very thin film. This is the glove, okay? And now there's a thin film of swaging lube on there. And I have my core cutter here. And you want to kind of, straighten out the wire a bit. And now you think you would just be able to go to town on this, but you kind of have to really you have to make sure it's you want these cores to be the same weight. So I'm going to cut 5 of them. There's 5. And let's see what weight we have. I have this. So this is, now it's important that the cores be about 2 to 3 grains heavier than the actual pellet you're going to make. So let's weigh them. 25.5. We're going to make some 24.7. So it's a little under 2, but that's okay. 25.54. Those are close. 25.38. 25.38. I try not to press on the scale. And 25.5. So I have 5 cores that are very, very close in weight, which is a good start. Not absolutely necessary, but that's a good start. Off camera, I've set this up so that it should swage 24.75, 24.8 roughly. But either way, it's going to be consistent. Everything is tightened down. Everything's ready to go. I'm going to take a pellet, or sorry, a core. I put it seated in place. Not sure if you're seeing that very well, but I seat it in place. Count to 5, generally. Eject it, and here's our first one. 24.76. And by the way, I just did that on the fly, like took me 2 minutes to set it up. Okay, let's do another one. Now I'm trying to be consistent. 5 seconds. 24.7. It was 727. All right, so that's a 5 hundredths of a grain off. It's not bad. Let's try this again. And believe it or not, just holding the press down for a second more makes a difference, maybe in 1/10 of a grain. 24.7. So now I'm holding it down a little longer. Okay. 24.74. So these are all within, last one. Okay. 24.72. So there you go. There you have it. 5 pellets. You seeing that? Yeah, okay. 5 bullets. Again, it takes a little bit of time. It is a tedious process. It's dirty. Again, you don't want to be handling lead. You know, use rubber gloves if you're going to be making your own. But it is a pretty cool process. But it can be worth it if you are, particular about your ammunition and you want it. You know, you're shooting long range. Otherwise, 50 yards and under, I'm still going to use the H&Ns. I don't think I'm going to use slugs for under 50 yards unless I can prove that the slugs shoot better than the H&Ns. Unless they're doing hole in hole at 50 yards, I'm just going to use the H&Ns. The press is expensive, and I had, as I said earlier, I was thinking that maybe I want a really nice FX gun, or maybe 2, because again, this stuff came in somewhere around $3,000–4,000, and I know I'm using $1,000 cushion because it depends how much lead you use, if you have to build a bench, if you have to get more cutters, if you need tools, a seat, whatever you have to buy to really set yourself up to swage properly. I'm going to say it's somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 to get started with 3 dies and a hand press. But again, it was a choice I made because I like the challenge of trying to make these Novas shoot really well and accurate, and I see that now there is a possibility. I mean, if I can just, I don't know if, again, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's the gun, I don't know if it's the wind, there's some factor that's not allowing me to get, you know, under an inch at 100 yards, 5 shots. I would love to do 10 shots under an inch, but for now, let's try for 5. And again, I'll take you through the journey, and as I learn new stuff about slugs or make an amazing group, I'll post some more videos. But again, thank you, and I hope you had a good time.